What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, it appears that Olympic silver medalist, undefeated 3-division champion, former unified super featherweight, and reigning WBC lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, Shakur Stevenson, who has 24 wins, no loss, no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout, is going to vacate his World Boxing Council, better known as WBC, 135-pound belt. Now, there was a fight that took place this weekend. As we know, Shakur Stevenson is going to face off against 2-division champion, former unified lightweight, and reigning WBO junior welterweight world champion, superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez. They're going to fight January 31st at Madison Square Garden in New York. With that said, there was a fight that took place this weekend between Cool Boy Stephen Fulton and WBC 130-pound champion, star boxer O'Shaquie Foster. And O'Shaquie Foster put on a beautiful performance and put BTA on Cool Boy Stephen Fulton. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There is no conversation to had. It wasn't close. He dominated the fight from opening bell to the end, and he was the underdog. He's more lesser known, okay, than Cool Boy Stephen Fulton. And so he was counted out. O'Shaquie Foster is always counted out, and I'm guilty of that. And I want to apologize to O'Shaquie Foster because a lot of times I forget to include him in conversations with fighters versus other fighters. I do. I'm guilty of that. And I apologize to O'Shaquie Foster for that. He's 24 wins, 3 losses, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout. He gets overlooked. And dude can box. He can switch from southpaw to orthodox. He got power. Dude, he could box. And he gets overlooked. And again, I'm guilty of that. With that said, O'Shaquie Foster is quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't shaking a lot of trees, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't on social media, and he just don't do it. So again, O'Shaquie Foster's latest stint in the social media world is him going back and forth with Shakur Stevenson for a disagreement and a relationship that they had that went sour. And so Shakur Stevenson and O'Shaquie Foster talked about fighting next, so on and so forth. And Shakur Stevenson comes out after O'Shaquie put BTA on Cool Boy Stephen Fulton. No other way to put it. Shakur said he put $12K on O'Shaquie Foster to win the fight. And so O'Shaquie said, yeah, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? You next. Never mind all that. You next. You on deck. And so him and Shakur start going back and forth. Typical, right? And Shakur says, O'Shaquie says, listen, I'm your mandatory now because Stephen Fulton, it's bizarre. It's a bit bizarre because Stephen Fulton missed weight. His first fight at 130, he comes in 2 pounds overweight. So instead of the World Boxing Council penalizing Cool Boy Steph, they actually rewarded him and made the fight for the WBC lightweight 135-pound interim championship. Okay, so O'Shaquie Foster wins. And now he's the WBC lightweight. As I told y'all in the video I did, he's Shakur Stevenson's mandatory. And so now he's Shakur Stevenson's mandatory. It makes it easier to fight. They was already going back and forth, right? And now they got a real reason to fight, right? And so Shaky's like, listen, I'm your mandatory now. Let's make it happen. So Shakur, he responds and he says, you can have that garbage belt. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want it anyway. Right? And don't make you a real champion, so on and so forth. I'm about to make a boatload of money to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140. So it sparked everybody to say, oh man, Shakur is ducking on Shaky Foster. Even though Shaky Foster, he said, dude is crashing out. That's what old Shaky Foster said. He said, dude crashing out and gonna vacate the belt. So this is what Shakur had to say. I'm gonna have to paraphrase a lot because of the language he used. He says, at old Shaky Foster, well, first old Shaky Foster, he said that, I'm your mandatory, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And Shakur responds and he says, at Oshaki Foster, you're BAN, you're a band. You're a whole band, BAN, and not in a good way. I'm in Houston every single day. I would say it to your face any day of the week. I'm here right now, you band. Sucker, you know the rest. And that mandatory I'm paraphrasing, that mandatory don't mean nothing. You could have that belt, I'm paraphrasing. You know how much money I'm making this fight with Tio. More than you'll ever make in your life. Now say please, little boy. Right? So he's saying, that, Oshaki Foster got to say please, make the fight, so on and so forth. The truth of the matter is this. I didn't think it was realistic when they was going back and forth to begin with, because Shakur had his sights set on a specific path and Oshaki Foster's on a different path. Can Shakur drop that path and go ahead and fight Oshaki Foster? 1,000%. But the money that he's offered for legacy fights is not going to warrant it. So people saying, see Blue, he ducking on Shaggy Foster. No, he ain't ducking on Shaggy Foster. Shakur already had his sights set on Teofimo Lopez. Did he contradict himself? Yeah, 1,000%. He contradicted himself because when it came to Devin Haney, he said that he was a 135 career pounder and he wasn't leaving the division. And now clearly he's leaving the division, right? So, I mean, he said, I'm a career 135 pounder. I'm staying here my entire career, so on and so forth. And clearly that's not the case because January 31st, he's going to fight Teofimo at 140. But again, Shakur Stevenson has had his sights set on bigger names. And like I said before, Shakur Stevenson was simply sticking around 135 to try to secure the showdown with him and Tank Davis, period. That's the fight that he wants. It's the fight the world wants. The fans want. It's just not the fight Tank Davis wants. And that's where the problem lies. So you can't force Tank Davis into the fight. That's the only reason he was sticking around 135 and telling the world he's a career 35 pounder. We know he's not a career 35 pounder. He's going to fight Teofimo Lopez at 140, and he's already talking about fighting Conor Benn at 147. So, again, do I think that Shakur is ducking Oshaki Foster? No, by no stretch of the imagination. I just think that, there's a beef there, and it makes sense, and especially after the performance Oshaki Foster had against Stephen Fulton, people want to see the fight. Prisoner of the moment right now. You know what I'm saying? That performance was dazzling. It was eye-opening, and it was an announcement. He announced to the world, I'm here. I'm skilled. He won't be an afterthought no more. He won't be forgotten no more. He won't be overlooked no more. He announced himself officially. I mean, everybody knew he could fight from the Robson Conceição fights and so on and so forth. But now you see 1,000% who Oshaki Foster is, what he can do. His talent can't be denied. His skill set can't be denied. And so, he lost that split decision to Robson Conceição, which I thought was bogus. He put on a dazzling performance against Ray Vargas and Abraham Nova, right? But the split decision loss to Robson Conceição was bogus. And then he came back and he beat him. And now what he did to Stephen Fulton, it's an announcement, man. He announced that he's that dude. And so because of that, the world's going to start to demand, hey, bro, let's see Shaggy Foster and Stephen Fulton. Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? Period. The world's going to want to see it now, demand it now. You know what I mean? Again, it's just not, it was never realistic in my brain. And I told you guys, once Shakur moves to 140, he ain't coming back down to 35. Told y'all, that dude is not coming back down to 35. And if he go to 47, you can forget it. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I think that Shakur Stevenson has now come to the realization him and Tank is never happening. And he's just officially moving on with his career. Period. Like Devin Haney has done. They realize now Tank Davis fight is the fight that the world wanted to see Tank fight Shakur and Devin. And Tank don't want to fight. And they both come to the understanding and realization. They always was building their own path. But now it's just more of a reality. And they like, bro, you know what? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's big fights. I'm going to make big money. Legacy fights, big names. The pool of legacy fights is wide open for us. And that's the path they're going. And again, like I said, Shakur versus Devin is going to be the next super fight. Period. Tank Davis is going to be forgotten. And as far as Shaggy Foster, if he move up in weight, I think he got the frame to move up in weight for sure. Him and Shakur could cross paths. But as far as Shakur ducking him, nah, he ain't ducking him. I just think that first of all, the WBC this was just bogus on their part. Rewarding cool boy Stephen Fulton for missing weight. And now Shakur Stevenson got to pay the penalty for it. It's just ridiculous. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Follow me on Instagram. I would love to see Shaggy Foster in many fights at 135, man. There's plenty of fights at 130 and 135. You know what I'm saying? That Shaggy Foster can have at 135. Right now, Raymond Ford, Savage Ford, close with Shakur Stevenson. He's saying he'll take the fight with Shaggy Foster. There's plenty of big names at 135 that he could fight. Unify the belts against at 135. So the pool ain't short for Shaggy Foster either. Period. So let me know what y'all think, man. Who y'all want to see Shaggy Foster fight next? Let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.